Hello everybody, Global Warming Skeptic here, and this is The Young Turks is Exposed. Title, isn't there something missing here? Because you listen to this video, and I'm not going to play any of it because the context really doesn't matter, because the general subject matter is that Jank is once again pointing out Donald Trump paying his own companies for campaign expenses. He's basically paying Trump Tower, office space, and rent for his campaign expenses. And just a couple things about that. First of all, when Bernie Sanders was um, giving, doing this very same thing as it was reported, giving campaign contributions to friends, there was not one peep from the Young Turks on that. But there's an even more damning thing, and that is, isn't something missing from this whole criticism that you just don't see the Young Turks talk about that much? And what we're going to look at it. First of all, let's go ahead and look at Donald Trump's data. Here's his campaign data. Um, Now, notice that his committee has raised almost all of the money that they're using. There's very little stuff from outside groups that's opposing. Well, there's probably a lot that's opposing, but there's not much that's for Trump, to the tune of $12 million, $125 million. You're going to see more on that in a second. But let's look at the breakdown of the funds. As you can see, the important thing is candidate self-financing, $52 million, 42% of all money raised. So, yeah, he's spending on his own companies, but guess what? He's putting a lot of his own money in as well. And in that same video, and again, I encourage you to listen to it to verify what I'm saying, Jank accuses Trump of scamming people, asking for donor money. When has Trump ever asked people to donate? He has repeatedly said he does not need money from the people, but that they just give. And yeah, he's got a donation button, which is halfway asking, but he does not ask for help. Now, keep in mind, listen to all the Bernie Sanders campaign speeches. Constantly asking for money, asking for help, asking for everyone to pitch in their $27, which he asked people to do multiple times. So you do $27 times, I don't know, every other speech he's done. He's asking the average person to give a lot. He was. But when you look at this, candidate self-financing, $52 million, so he's giving a lot. And yeah, most of his contributions are small donations. And let's look at Hillary Clinton by comparison. This is something you're never going to see from the Young Turks. Look at this. $120 million spent by outside groups. Outside groups for Hillary Clinton have spent almost as much as Trump did in this whole campaign cycle. That includes primaries, by the way. That includes primaries. And it's interesting because look at what's been spent to the tune of $256 million, almost $257 million. Hillary has spent. And think about this. She spent $257 million. You don't see her out there campaigning. What's all this on? Ad revenue? Possibly. But it's interesting. Let me go back to Trump. She's got $58 million cash on hand. That's about a little, it's about 20% of her total raised. Donald Trump still has $38 million. Dollars. That's almost a quarter. That's almost a third. Probably about 30%. So you look at these. She's received more money, but yet does not have cash on hand. Interesting stuff. And also, just something else I've noticed: debts. Debts that have been recorded: 501,000 for Hillary, $0 for Trump. So all these people accusing him of just loaning himself money. The Trump campaign does not have debts. At least according to Open Secrets, they don't. It's interesting. Let's look at some more stuff about Hillary Clinton. Yeah, large contributions. How often do you hear TYT talk about that anymore? They talked about it with Bernie. They talked about it a lot with Bernie. The only thing they talk about Hillary with is, stuff about her emails, stuff that they have to cover that gets in the news, that comes from WikiLeaks, or blah blah, Bernie got screwed, something like that. But it's interesting because when it comes to this campaign, you won't hear a peep from the Young Turks or Jank about this. Large contributions, candidates self-financing, $1 million, 0%. Might as well be nothing. $53 million from other. I'm not sure what other would refer to, but I'm guessing outside stuff. But anyhow, PAC contributions, 1.5 million compared to $17,700. So they're going after Trump for his campaign spending, while he's put almost half the money into his campaign and has not indebted his campaign by doing so. So, who's really losing in campaign financing? You know what? Here's the thing. You think the Young Turks gives a damn about the truth? All this is, this hashtag loser Donald, all it is to smear Donald Trump. That's it. They don't care about the truth. They're not, Jank says he cares about the American people. Bullshit. At least Bill O'Reilly will come out and say, do all but admit that it's a show for him. That he has a base to cater to, but in reality he gets along with other people. He's not kidding around. At least he can say that. At least the mainstream media tries to at least project a sense of objectivity. These mass media outlets, this mass media garbage, alternative media, excuse me, not mass, because alternative media is worse. Because they don't pretend to be objective and represent the American people. What they try to project is that their ideology is right. They don't give a damn about your opinion or the news. All they're trying to do is sway your opinion through the same liberal nonsense that always happens, smear the other candidate to the point where you hate them so much that you will vote out of spite for the opponent. That's wrong. That's what happened to Mitt Romney. It's wrong, and it's got to stop. Start voting for something and stop voting against something. Thanks for listening. God bless.